3SFX presents the Indoob podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Kortney.
This is the Indoob podcast, where Dry Time meets late night talk show as we aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape with knowledge and nonsense. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. We're recording live from Little New Indubia on the corner of Chaka and MLK Drive. Kortney, Alberta, Hinton, Allen, how are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous. How are you?
I don't know, I'm feeling all revved up and just ready to just race and drive and use my car as a weapon, but also would fly
As a
and
spaceship.
a spaceship, yep. And do all the things and just go all the places because my car is indestructible and I got family. So yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
that is yeah.
you must have seen a movie or
I
something
have.
to
I have.
inspire this. Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can give any more context clues as to what I may have witnessed, because it is
Family.
something. Family, right? That's a big thing. Family, familia.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, growly, grumpy, family. So yeah, that's yeah. So Fast X was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And I will just go ahead and just say this is not a spoiler. Jason Momoa is the villain of the piece, but
Okay.
he has now risen. I mean, I can't even say risen because I didn't know he was there, but like he has now been added to my list of top villains.
Okay. Huh.
Yes.
So he was that good.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. And I had like just told this to Ashley. I'm like, this, like if Vin Diesel is Batman, and they're pretty close with the growly voices and everything, and crazy cars and whatnot, Jason Momoa's character is the Joker. And it's just brilliant. Like the way that
Well,
he
that sounds
plays
like,
him.
yeah, that sounds like a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
it is. It's like he's completely psychotic and having a ball, being
Yeah.
this this bad, bad man, but he's just having so much fun doing it. So
Hmm.
as an actor and the character himself.
Yeah. It
So
definitely
yeah,
sounds like Joker vibes.
I mean, now I'm not, I don't mean to put you on the spot because I feel like you feel attacked. And if I ask you if you've seen the movies or how far along you are, if you have,
Hmm.
where are you in the various franchise?
Ooh, um, so how many are so 10, that's the 10th movie, right?
It's
That you saw
technically the
today.
11th. Yeah, but it's
Okay, right,
technically
because
number 11. No,
Tokyo's we don't think
no, you
about that.
count
We
that
don't
one. That's part three. Not
well
chronologically, but it is part three.
I don't know that I saw that one. I
Okay.
feel like I did and I just chose to forget about it. I'm not sure.
Well,
Um,
don't feel bad. I still haven't seen that one either.
well,
Which, yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. Like, I saw the one right after Paul Walker passed, and then they had
Okay.
to like CGI him a little bit using his brother and like
Mm-hmm.
computer witchcraft or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the last one I saw, but I don't remember. I guess they were maybe in Dubai. I don't know. Whichever one
Yeah,
that
I
one
mean,
was.
saying the locations doesn't help in a franchise like this because they are globe-trotting on a regular basis.
That's true. That is true.
So, but you did
But
say
I feel like,
basically it was Paul Walker's last.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, that was the seventh one you've seen. I
Okay.
had to check just to
Well,
make
that sounds
sure.
about right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's eight, or rather Fate, and then nine, which is F9, and then this one that just came out, which is
Hmm.
FX, or not FX, that's a channel.
Fast F.
Fast X, right.
Fast X. Yes.
Now the 11th one, and it's somewhere chronologically, and I've seen a video that explains where it fits in the timeline, but that's when Hobbs and Shaw go on their own separate mission. So that's the 11th one.
I don't recall that one.
Yeah, it was just
I'm
The
pretty,
Rock and
yeah.
Jay and the Staith. So yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
Mhm.
Interesting.
In fact, I'm pretty sure that's one of the few No, I think I've seen most of them in the theater except one, two, and three, and
Hmm.
probably four. Nope, and five. Okay, it's only the last the last chunk, last half I've seen in theaters. All the other ones I've
Yeah.
seen either at home or just,
Hmm.
but Fast Five is the one that kicks everything off, and you can really tell because that's where this movie picks up from a bit. Like it goes
Hmm.
back in time to talk about like, hey, we need to go back to Rio de Janeiro where like some nasty
Oh
things really
wow.
went down. So yeah. Hmm.
Wow.
Because I mean,
I just yikes.
yeah, it's a lot, and it's interesting how they will twist and turn just like they do in their cars, how to make, plot lines fit into this ongoing franchise. It's amazing. I love the gymnastics that they do with the plot. So
Hmm.
any writer
I
out
mean,
there,
it is
just,
pretty neat.
mhm.
That's one thing. One thing I do like about the franchise is they kind of go to crazy places, and it's I say crazy, but it's creative, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's it's very creative, yes, and how they get out of a jam. And
Yeah.
apparently, and I mean, people say this all the time, but apparently no one ever really dies. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm just leaving that out there for those who have seen it or have not seen this one, but seen all the other ones, and they're like, but didn't you? But I mean, there's surprises littered throughout. And my only other note, because again, it's no secret that he's in this movie. John Cena
Hmm.
is in this film. He
Hmm.
was in the last one, and I say it's a great improvement because when he was in F9, he didn't have a personality. Now he has one, and
Mm.
he's having fun. So good job for him.
Good. Good.
Yes. So that's my non-spoilery review. So it's an experience. It's
Hmm.
just a joyride of fun. Just buckle up. I mean, you could have fast 10 your seatbelts.
And they didn't, what a wasted opportunity.
I know, and it wasn't just me. I saw other people saying like it was right there. But no, Fast X, gross, gross.
Did I send you, or did you ever watch that TikTok that I sent you about the
You did.
ridiculousness? Okay.
You sent it
Well,
to me. Then it apparently went viral because other people started sharing it just like on their own thing.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, it's marvelous because I just love rewatching it because he's so
it's so
right.
true.
And how none of the and what we're talking about, in case you have not seen it, dear listener, is that there is someone who basically went through all the titles of the Fast and Furious movies, and they don't make any sense. Like there's no connective tissue
They
between
don't.
them.
Yeah.
So it's great. I love it. And then I think I did watch some of the follow up videos where he's trying to guess, or people were suggesting what the 11th film would be called, and the suggestions were great. So I can't wait to find out what the next one is, and it's probably gonna be something stupid like Fast X Part Two. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah, yeah, probably.
try harder, or don't try at all, or
Or just
I don't
go
know.
away. Like, come on.
We'll see. I actually that's really what I'm waiting for right now is just to find out what the title is gonna be, and then I mean I don't even know what the plot. I don't need to know what the plot is because it won't matter. I'm gonna be there, and it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a great time, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hmm. Hmm.
I, I don't know when that is yet. I'm starting to see like scatterings of just actors coming out and saying things, people poo-pooing Michelle Rodriguez for
What?
poo-pooing the Marvel universe, the MCU.
What
She
did she
was
do?
she said like aren't there enough of them? Like can you like stop making them? And I'm like,
You're
ma'am,
in the
you're in a
Fast and the Furious series that will never end.
exactly.
Mm,
So I
mm,
mean,
mm.
it's like, throwing stones at a glass house. Like
Right,
you might want to watch it there, ma'am,
right. Pot calling the
because
kettle black.
people pretty much say that all of your films, your fast films, are all pretty much the same plot. But
Well,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah.
I mean, you don't have to watch them. You don't have to be in them, and apparently you won't be because they're not going to ask you. Because
They ain't gonna ask you.
mm, 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 mm.
Not gonna ask you, lady.
Anyway, how have you been? How do we got that? I got to put my feathers back down. They're a little ruffled there, but
I am doing great. I have been doing some business work and making a little bit of progress. It's super exciting. So,
mm,
yeah, I'm just keeping on, you know.
okay. Not quite ready to delve into details just yet. I'm not putting you on the spot. Just
I'm ready to delve into details now.
oh, okay.
I feel good about it now. So, my new business is a copywriting business.
Mm,
So, I'll be, working with businesses, big and small, individuals, um, influencers, designers, web designers, graphic designers, basically writing the copy or the stuff that you see in marketing materials and or persuasive type messaging for any company, any business, any nonprofit, any church. It's all basically persuasive copy or
mm,
messaging that's
mm.
written to get you to move, get an audience member to take action or a viewer to take action in some form or way, whether that's to buy something or to subscribe to something or to join the cause or something like that. So
Okay.
it's pretty exciting, and I'm taking the leap and I'm doing the thing, and yeah, it's just exciting.
Do you have any clients yet, or are you still just branching out?
So I'm just branching out, but I am working with somebody. So I'm portfolio building.
Okay.
And I am working with a friend of mine who, well, she's like a colleague. And I'm going to be writing some blogs or a blog at least for one of her clients, which is huge for me because I just am looking to do portfolio pieces and, you know, getting my stuff out there and getting the practice, and then I can start actually um then I can
Tra
start clients
Trading under your own
acquisition.
name.
Yeah. So,
That was just a Ocean's 11 reference, but it means the same
oh,
thing. It's just,
yeah,
getting your
yeah,
own, your clients. So
getting, yeah,
that's exciting. Making
I'm
moves
very
and
excited.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's yeah. And I'm wondering too, is like, I wonder if I have anyone that might need your services. So I'll have to follow up with that later. Um,
Yeah,
in a similar vein, I'm excited as well because last week, I released my resume video, which you had seen. I know I sent it to you, the original rough cut a whole
yeah,
year ago, like almost to the day, almost. Um, and I told people I kind of was like, yeah, I'm going to explain the whole story once I get to the podcast because it's a big deal.
yeah.
Because I was, as many of you know, I used to work at a hospital and I absolutely, I don't want to say detested the job, but it was stressful. It was difficult and loved the people, like half of them that were there. So shout out to my beloveds that I do keep in contact with. And I don't know, I was desperate to get out. I needed to do something different to stand out
Right.
from the rest of anyone. So I I mean, again, you and we discussed a lot of the things that we were doing, and LinkedIn was one of those things. And LinkedIn Learning, this is not a paid advertisement, but it should be, where you pretty much can just take on extra skills that you may not have or maybe you want to learn more about. And one of those things, I watched one of these videos talking about how to make a video resume. So I'm like, okay, took
Mm-hmm.
notes and I did basically those basic things that you needed to do. Introduce yourself, say what the skills are, have somebody like kind of, if you can get someone to give a testimonial, if you will, or be your,
Yep.
um, oh my God, I can't think of the word, your reference. There it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I basically did all those things, but I had to do it my way. And
Hmm.
this idea that I've actually had for quite a few years is like, hey, I would love to make a video that's more of that looks like a movie trailer, but
Hmm.
promoting me because I'm a
Yeah.
movie. So yeah. So I basically took that outline and kind of matched it up after watching some of my favorite trailers just to see is like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
how do I do this? And like wrote the script because everything starts with writing. We're going to talk more about that too. And you're already, I mean, writing is basically the backbone to both of what we do, just our
Mm-hmm.
lives.
Right.
It's so very vital, so very important. And I stand with the writers who are
Yeah.
striking probably at this very moment, as we discussed last. We're going to get into that a little later. So let me go back to the resume here, and yeah, I put it together. I shot everything in like a week. Um, all of that took place, like I said, last year. I put some music down just to have it something. Wasn't finished fully, and a
Mm-hmm.
recruiter reached out to me, and he reached out through LinkedIn. Shout out to Michael, and he said, "Yeah, the ESPN is looking for a person of your caliber." And I'm like, "Okay,
That's
cool."
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm like, "Hey, I'm working on this thing," and I showed it to him, and he thought that was amazing. And then he actually sent it over to my current bosses. So I'm pretty sure that influenced them to want to take me on. I mean, because I hadn't even had any interviews or anything yet. So that happened later. And next thing you know, a couple weeks later, I'm working at ESPN. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I had this incomplete video or incomplete. And because of that, and just the grace of God and just everything moving so quickly that I wasn't able to finish it and I really wanted to. So I kind of just devoted some time to like, okay, let me get what I need. I need different music. I want to make sure I really show the applications that I know how to use. And I went and scoured the internets for all these logos for everything. And I was able to include a very clip at the very end from my very first day at ESPN as I drove past the sign that says,
Mm-hmm.
ESPN. So got to throw
Mm-hmm.
that in there. So it was a nice little
Mm-hmm.
ending.
Yeah.
And yeah, just letting people know I don't want to say I'm on the market, but I'm here for like gigs. Like if you want podcasts to be edited or even produced or any of the things that I kind of market myself that I can do. If you want videos produced for your church. So it's similar to you. And I'm just now kind of building, I guess, my client base as well, like you. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
the work that I've done has been for my church, but I'll be open to working with others just to, help bring their vision along however I can.
Well, you got to start somewhere, and you have to put yourself out there and get the practice and build those
Hmm.
relationships. So wherever they come
Hmm.
from is wherever they come from. That's what I'm learning.
Right,
Um,
right.
it's pretty exciting.
And and at least with this can do the talking for me. Like all I have to do is
Mm-hmm.
just post this, which is what I did. Posted
Mm-hmm.
it on like TikTok, Twitter, um, even Facebook. Ugh. But yes, Facebook. It's and of course on YouTube, so I can just always send the link like here, this is me, and then I just walk away. But no, it's nice that I'm able to have this now, and it stands out from just a regular paper resume. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a load off of my like plate, off of my shoulders, and I just felt this great sense of accomplishment. It's like, yes, I have this finished now. It's done, or it finished. Yeah. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you. Good luck to me.
Yes, good luck to you as well. And Godspeed, as you said just before I entered the movie. Um,
Mm-hmm.
with all of that said, I can kind of roll into this other thing that I had already previously discussed with you, just tidbits rather. A a rule or a policy for, creators like us who at times might get stuck trying to complete a project, but then once it's actually finished and we kind of ride that high of accomplishment, like, yes, it's done, and we put it out in the world and maybe do a little promotion or whatever. I do have a habit of not kind of celebrating that win because completing something is totally a win because there's so many people that might start a project but never finish it. And, you know, you gotta,
Mm-hmm.
pat yourself on the back a little bit.
Yeah.
So with that, or the people that do pat themselves a little too much and just are like, hey, I did the thing. I don't have to do anything else. I'm good. Great. See that thing I
Yeah.
made a month ago? So yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an example of someone resting on their laurels. And I didn't know what laurels were. I kept thinking that it was like, I don't know, pearls or something. So I mean, I literally had no idea. So I Googled it like you do everything else. And laurels are like those olive branch things that they would
Uh-huh.
wear in ancient Greek times when
Yep.
anybody won anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't exactly know how one would actually rest on them. Like maybe they took them off and they sat down on them. So I don't know. I don't know how that works, but that's what that
Well, I think
phrase
it's
means.
saying once you get your laurels, don't just be like, okay, well, I'm done. Don't rest on that one
Mm,
accomplishment. I
hmm
think. I don't think it literally means sitting on them, but I don't know.
I mean,
We
hey,
should
that
look that
sounds a
up.
lot better. That sounds a lot better. Well, because I did come across like a kind of like a Far Side-ish kind of cartoon about it, where someone was literally sitting on them and was like, "Hey, you're resting on my laurels." So yeah, that's kind of where I got that idea from. But I think you are actually correct, where you're resting in the like, yeah, I did that, and then you just kind of coast on that victory and not do anything else. So what I'm implementing for myself after I complete a project, I will actually give myself a day to just celebrate that win. And first of all, just acknowledge that, hey, I did a thing, I completed it. Good job, me. But also, after that period of time, I move on to the next project because I do have a long list, like a list I'm literally staring at right now. But like, there's a list of things I need to, more things I need to accomplish, more goals to attack. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like to keep moving.
Yep. That's the only way
Mm-hmm.
to be.
Mm-hmm.
We can't
Mm-hmm.
just stop. I've had a few wins even just in my new business, and it's so easy. It's funny because it happened right after like right after you told me your thing about taking a relaxing and taking it in but not like stopping there, because I
Mm-hmm.
realized, oh, that was like last week. What have I done since then? And it's like not much.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy, when you've got when life happens and stuff like that. But I immediately thought of what you said, and I said, oh, that is, yeah, I need to not chill. I need to
Mm-hmm.
strike while that iron is hot and keep going.
Right, right. And I mean that's really what it is. And I want to like keep that iron hot. And there will be a point where I will allow it to cool, like vacation time or whatever. But I mean I've got so many things that I've been pushing back. Like I was like, oh, I'll get to it. And now that like momentum's going, I want to keep it
Hmm.
going. So
Right,
so
right,
I don't want to be like I was like, oh, I did all those things last month and haven't produced anything because
right.
we creatives, and I think you can attest to this as well. If you haven't made anything in a while, you start to feel kind of
Ew.
crummy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
oh.
So yeah, and I don't like being in that place. And it's funny because one of the easiest ways for me to get out of it is cooking, and that kind of keeps some of the creativeness going, even if it's
Hmm.
something I've made a dozen times. But still, it
Hmm.
just makes me feel better. It puts me in that better
Yeah,
headspace. So
yeah.
it's not the
I'm
same
with
as
you
a
on that.
win like a project, but yeah, it's
It is
it's
though. It's
something.
like it's a mini thing that keeps you going.
You know what? You're right. Because if I'm making it for someone else, like a picky 7-year-old, and he eats it and loves it, I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah. Yes.
And then, I
I'm
sit
with you
back.
on that.
I sit back for a day just thinking about what he ate yesterday. I'm like, yeah, that was good. I did a good job. Meanwhile, he's hungry again. I'm like, you just ate yesterday. Leave me alone. This is my resting day. This is my day of laurels. So leave me alone. So speaking of eating, and this is my transition, um, something that we had discussed at work, and I'm bringing it now to you to ask your opinion on something they like to do often is the Mount Rushmore of fill in the blank. So, what
Okay.
is your Mount Rushmore? Meaning your top four of the following uh, thing, and you can only have four because there's only four, heads up there. Your top four fruits, or your Mount Rushmore of fruit.
My Mount Rushmore of fruit. Um, I have to say strawberries,
Okay.
blueberries,
All right.
Apples
Okay.
and mm,
That's always the last one that's just,
well, because
I
I
mean, because that
love
was me.
fruit, but I'm trying to think of what I've eaten recently that I just love and can't get enough of. So strawberries, blueberries, apples. I'm gonna say oranges because I can't think of
You
nothing
don't
else.
seem sure about that though.
No, well,
Well,
yeah, because oranges are not. I don't really eat that much. Bananas. I eat more bananas than oranges.
I had a feeling, I don't know why. I think because a lot of people like bananas. As you probably know, I do not. I do not like the texture of bananas.
Hmm.
They're just,
Hmm.
I can't. So, as for me, mine would be apples, raspberries, watermelon, and I, this is where, and I have it written down. I'm even reading it, and I'm even having the pauses, the dot, dot, dots. I'm like, do I really
Hmm.
want to go ahead and say this one? But cantaloupe, but it can also be
I
interchanged
like
with
cantaloupe.
honeydew.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the thing. They're these are conditional. So that's why I'm not so
Hmm.
satisfied using or just leaving it there because I mean grapes are there, but I feel sometimes they could be a little overrated just a bit. Like I would love a frozen grape, but I think maybe I'm gonna rest on clementines because
Okay. Those are
for
baby oranges.
the baby oranges, but
I do like
specifically
those.
clementines.
True, they
It's
do taste differently than actual oranges. Well, not
right,
actual, but like bigger oranges.
right, and they taste
Hmm.
different than I almost said Mandalorian mandarins
They do.
and tangerines because they
They
all
do.
have
Those
slight
are,
distinctions.
yeah. And those can be pretty tangy and bitter almost.
I mean, it's in the name, so yeah.
Yep.
Well, kind of. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, go. It's in there.
Tangerine. Yeah.
Tangerine. Yep. hmm And then mandarins are just managing out of I don't know. I'm trying too hard for that one, but yeah, not quite the same. But they're not the same as clementines, and I mean, clementine has a whole song about it, so they're delightful.
Hmm.
So yeah, just wanted to get your opinion on that because that was a whole topic one day at work, and everyone trying to determine what was the best fruit or best fruits, and then like, well, what about oh my goodness, like mangoes and apricots? I'm like, who is choosing apricots unless you're like 90 years old? So, well, I wasn't saying that; they were saying
Uh-huh.
it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Sure, sure, sure.
So no, because I have nothing against them. I've never eaten them, but I have nothing against apricots. Or have I? No, not
But
that I have anything against them. I'm trying to think if I've ever eaten them. I don't think I have.
I don't
Nope,
think I have
no.
either. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had them.
I don't think I've seen them in the wild. I don't even know where you get them from. So yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
I don't
fine.
know. The sky, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, in the sky, from a bush, they can stay wherever they are because I'm not looking
Yeah,
for them.
I'm gonna keep that.
Yes, keep it wherever wherever it lies, and when it falls
Right.
off the vine or the clouds or whatever. I don't know. Because I have no transition. Have you heard about TikTok being banned recently?
In the US,
Yeah,
and it's happened already?
in Montana.
I think I did hear something about that, but I thought it was just for, is it for everyone in Montana?
I'm I wish I actually opened up that particular article because what has now happened is that TikTok is now suing the state of Montana for banning them.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I'm wondering how all that's going to work and like how
Yeah,
apps
that's
can be
interesting.
banned. Like, do you just cross the border
Yeah.
to another state and then you can use it? Or what if you have the app on your phone already? What's going to happen?
Well, that's what it is. I do remember reading some more details. I think it's not effective until like January. Maybe that's too far out. Maybe it's July, but it's like as with anything, they have to, it's not like immediate. So whether it's July, June, or January, it's a J month. I feel like it was January though, because I'm like, that's a long time from now. But whenever it becomes effective, it's effective for new users, like people who haven't had it downloaded. I think for
Mm,
whoever has it downloaded right now, it's not going to affect them some kind of way. I don't know how they would do that. Um,
right. I don't know how you enforce something like that.
I don't know how you would enforce that. But I will say that in my state, which is Arkansas, if you're a
Hmm.
state employee, which I am,
Hmm.
you cannot have TikTok like downloaded on a phone that also has access to like your state issued email, like for work
Mm.
or anything state issued like that. And I think it's mainly for email or maybe like OneDrive, which is a cloud-based service.
Hmm.
Um,
I use that at work.
yeah, so then it's similar to Google Drive or like Dropbox or something like that. It's cloud-based.
Mhm.
Um, if you have TikTok installed on your phone, you wouldn't have access. And then you also had like the work email or the OneDrive or whatever, you would not have access to those apps. Now, I do not have, and I've also noticed like, so I have TikTok on my phone. I do
Mhm.
not have work email on my phone because it is my phone that I pay the bill for.
Right. I
I'm
was
not
I
about
was
to
gonna ask you,
put,
but I didn't want to like put you on the spot, like if you did,
oh
and then you'd
no,
be incriminating yourself, and I'm like, just blink
no, no,
twice if
no,
you do, and
no.
okay.
Yeah, that was an easy, like I've never had email or anything like that on my personal phone except for when we were like home for COVID. I did have
Hmm.
stuff like that. Kind of. Actually, it's never actually been on my phone, and I just like forwarded my desk phone to my phone. But anyway, um, there's nothing state related on my phone because my phone is not a state phone.
Right.
Um,
And you like to leave
but I
work
will
at
say,
home. Oh, you have to leave. You like to leave work at work.
I
That's what I meant
do.
to say.
I would like
Yeah.
to leave work at work. The only type of work I don't mind taking back and forth and everywhere is my work that I'm
Mm,
actually passionate about and,
correct.
and trying to build. So I need to put in time for it. But I will say, like, so like my phone does automatically, oftentimes it automatically connects to the Wi-Fi. And so I've
Mm.
like maybe been on lunch or something and tried to pull up TikTok. I'm like, dang, why isn't TikTok working? What is happening? It's because I'm on the state Wi-Fi. And so I'm like, oh, I need to turn it off so I can scroll TikTok. So and it's not 100%. Like I've accidentally like opened something that
Mm.
somebody sent to me from TikTok
So
and it
sorry.
opened. Huh?
So sorry. I said I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm pretending it was me that did it, but yeah.
well, Daniel, some of my coworkers. Yeah,
Oh, so they're all guilty. Terrible.
everybody's guilty. Everybody's guilty. But yeah, so um I would have to disconnect from the work Wi-Fi to do the thing.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah. So but
And then
I
there
say all
you'll
that
be
to
for the
say,
next hour or so. So yeah.
Lord have mercy. TikTok is a rough place. Whew, I love it though.
Mm,
But
mm,
I will say that even though that is not quite the same thing, that's how they're enforcing it in my state. And like I said, it's just for state workers.
hmm.
But ugh, yeah.
I mean, and I think about that when I'm at work and like whatever I might be viewing, like not even just on the work computers, but even on my own phone that will connect to my work Wi-Fi. And then
Hmm.
that really, it would made me really take pause because I mean, I hadn't even seen it yet. So I didn't know what I was getting into. And we're just gonna just dance around the subject. We can always do an indoob after dark and discuss more about Janelle Monae's most recent music video. So
Oh,
what
I love it.
I know you do. And but once I realized like, oh, okay. So I just kind of paused and I just disconnected because I'm like, I don't know how detailed like security or IT would be in tracking such things.
Mm,
And I mean, the only
yeah.
reason why I looked it up is because again, they were talking about it on the air. So I'm like, what
Ah,
was
yeah.
happening? So normally, I mean, naturally, I look up things that they're talking about. I mean, I do it all the time. Going back to the whole fruit conversation and fruit, a Rushmore of fruit, they talked about dates and how, like, even just looking at them, like, why would anybody want to eat these? They look like, giant raisins. But so, and because I looked up a picture just to kind of familiarize myself with it. I'm like, yeah, these don't look great at all. So it happens all the time. They'll talk about things on Google them or Google people, whatever. So they talked
Yeah.
about the video and then it was all blurry. And I'm like, okay. And like, I need access to, okay. So let me just look it up on my phone. And then once I got to that stage, I'm like, oh, okay, let me just disconnect altogether because this may not be, I mean, it wasn't. So yeah. Yeah. Can follow up on that later because I mean, I even came across an article which we'll discuss later at some other time because I haven't even read it. I'm like, this this is something. So yes, TikTok not allowed at work because it's a distraction for work, and plus China's spying on you, and they want to know all of Arkansas secrets as well
Mm-hmm.
as Montana. So
Yeah,
yeah,
whatever. Anyway,
I know your care meter is just flying off the charts. I know this. I can feel it.
okay, it was when I heard that I was like, oh, this is not a problem for me at all. This affects this little rule of y'all's is cute, but it does not affect me in any way. That was my
Mm,
actual thoughts about it. Might
mm.
have said it out loud. I don't know.
To anyone in particular, anyone who could hear you, or just
Yeah, just out loud and to my coworkers and like y'all got me messed up. Take TikTok off
mm,
of my phone that no, done.
mm, hmm.
It's a done deal.
Done indeed. I did tease talking about how we feel about writers and how they are currently striking out in Hollywood. And
Mm,
I didn't have like an I don't want to say I don't have an update, but like I do, other than the fact that it's still going on and the repercussions of it. I
hmm
had came across a schedule because it's also that time of year where the TV networks start to reveal like, hey, these are the shows that we're going to be doing in the fall. And ABC has released their schedule, which they call Strike Proof. And
Okay. Huh.
it's mostly just reality TV shows and reruns of Abbott Elementary.
No. Which I appreciate the reruns, but also pay the writers of Abbott Elementary so we can get new episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
it's pretty sad.
ew, you're so gross, ABC. Why are you doing that?
It's
Mm-mm-mm.
just a big sigh. They even discussed bringing or re I don't want to say re-airing, but taking shows from Disney Plus and putting those on TV,
What?
which they run into
Which
a
we
whole
pay
bunch of
for?
issues. They run into a
Right.
whole bunch of issues because not every episode of like for example, Mandalorian, WandaVision, but they can't
Mm-hmm.
do that because all the episodes aren't the same length. They have to clear standards and practices for,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whatever they might have. And yeah, it's just it's not built for TV. So
Yeah.
they may have discussed it, but they can't. I don't think they're actually can do it. So it's not it's not looking good.
Mm. Because
And
I'm sure they're going to be running out of stuff any day now.
oh, they will be. I mean, right now they still have their summer schedules and summer shows, things that have already been
Hmm.
shot. And
Yeah.
I mean, we're not going to really feel the repercussions. I mean, we already are because we don't have the late night talk shows, but we're
Yeah.
really going to start feeling it in the fall should this continue.
Yeah.
And there's like an anarchy in me and just wanting to see things crumble that I'm just it's like yes, let's watch it all burn. As much as I love entertainment and love the news of entertainment, I don't love what's happening with the writers because they need to be paid. And
Yeah.
I love my TV shows and I love my movies. But you know, there's just the part of me that just likes to see the world burn a little bit.
Yeah. I'm
So
with you. Like, because at what point do things change? And
mhm.
sometimes the world, sometimes it's gotta burn in order to have that change happen. And I'm willing to go without TV for a while to make that happen.
Mm,
Because we can't
I
we can't do anything without the writers from start to finish.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've seen some of the shows that are supposed to be coming up this fall, like actual written shows, and they
Mm,
sound promising. Like I would want to watch them, but if you're not going to pay anybody to write them, then what's the point?
yeah, right.
So it's sad. But I mean, I'm keeping a close eye on it because I'm very like interested, just like I was 15 years ago.
Yeah,
And yeah, let's pay these writers. Let's get them back to work because I need my movies. I need my TV shows. because I'm a nerd for this stuff and I want it. But also,
Yeah.
I and I'm here to watch the big bosses suffer and just like squirm, try to, I don't know, just pay them, just pay the people.
Yeah.
Because I think
Let's
what's
pay the
happening
people.
next, the DGA, which is the Directors Guild, I think they might be
Mm,
striking next. I'm not,
okay.
I haven't confirmed that, and possibly even the actors too. Like there's something going around about voting, uh, probably in agreement with them, but like again, if there's no written word, what can they direct? What can they act? So yeah, it's getting feisty, to lack of
Yeah.
better words.
I mean, sometimes that's what you got to do,
Hmm.
honestly.
And speaking of words,
Word watch.
today's word I picked up from a little show that's also has excellent writing, and from Succession. It's quite the show. My goodness, the
I've heard.
caliber of, yeah. These last couple episodes, like, just want to keep throwing Emmys and not enemies, Emmys at the TV screen
Not
because oh
enemies,
my
eh?
god, no, not enemies. I mean, like, anyway, the word today is Vim. Vim. Have you heard of Vim before?
Them, THEM.
No, Vim. V as in Victor. I
Uh-huh.
M as in Mary.
Oh, no. What is
This
that?
might be this might be the shortest word that I've done for Word Watch, but Vim is like another word for energy or enthusiasm. So you have a lot
Really?
of, yeah, like you
So
have a lot of
it's a real
vim for
word.
writing. Yeah, it is a real word. Are you
Yeah.
looking it up because you're like, really? Vim?
No, I just don't believe you. Just don't believe you.
Hmm. I mean, I kind of know this about you, where you do get skeptical of me sometimes, and it's warranted because every so often I do like to pull a fast one. But no, this is a real word because it was used in a speech by the character Kendall Roy of
Hmm.
Succession, and
Hmm.
he's eulogizing his father. And I'm sorry, spoilers, whatever. But he's saying how much vim that he had for, I guess,
Interesting.
his business. So it was like vim. Wow. Okay. I mean, he had some other choice words in there that I'm like, never heard that word before. What is that? So,
Yeah,
but vim being as short as it was, I'm like, that what? So I looked it up. I'm like, okay, all right, that's going to be the word this week. So yes.
I love that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna use it forever now.
Yeah, I'm going to try to. And I mean, I think you can really tell when a word hits me because I really try to, even though I haven't yet for this episode until just now, but like when I have a lot of vim for a word, then I will try to, make sure it gets into my vocabulary. So
Uh-huh.
my vernacular, that's the word I was looking for. Interesting
Nice,
enough,
nice, nice.
I don't think Vim, you know what? Now I got to rewatch V for Vendetta because I'm wondering if V used Vim in his vivacious speech at one point.
Hmm.
Have you seen that one? I know it's an older one from the Wachowskis.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I haven't. Mm-mm.
You might enjoy that one, I think. Yeah. I
Okay,
don't
I'll add it
let
to
me
the
take
list.
I about to say, let me take a quick check, a quick look see to see if it's streaming anywhere, just to make it a little easier for you in case it is.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate that.
it is not. I am so sorry.
Oh,
You'd have to rent
oh,
it for like
oh.
$4.
I mean, that's not bad. I
It
do have
isn't.
$4 I could, you know, use on
And I would say go ahead, but I'm wondering if there's other more pertinent movies that I would but if I were to choose for you, I'm like, no, no, don't watch that one. Watch this one instead. And I don't
it. Hmm.
know because I forgot what's on your list because I gave you so many.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's one of those like Saturday night kind of movies where it's like, ah, I'm
Hmm.
in, got yourself a little glass of wine or whatever, and put your feet up and just, just chilling. Like it's not necessarily a movie night, but like
Yeah.
I could watch a movie and I feel like you wouldn't be disappointed by it. Like, oh, that was a lot of
Well,
fun. And then you go back and like, why didn't I watch this sooner? Kind of thing.
hey, I'm always down for a easy movie to watch, something that's
Hmm.
not too crazy.
Right, right. And I do have a movie for you to watch. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It is my recommendation, but I'm going to wait until a little later for that.
Hmm.
But next,
Okay.
oh, I almost said mailbag. It's not mailbag. It is actually, um, where did it go? Spookums. Yes, it's been a little while since we've gone to the Spookums zone. And for those who haven't been to the Spookums zone or don't know what that is, I try to find things that might terrify Kortney just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Wow. Thanks.
Yeah. This was your own doing though, because you introduced me to the Y files and I tend to watch them, but I usually try to not watch them or I pick and choose which ones to watch when. So
Yeah.
if it's late at night, then I'll watch something that's a little lighter, like
Hmm.
oh, let's see, like when they're looking for um not the Holy Grail, the Covenant, Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, Ark of the
So
Covenant. Yeah.
yeah, so that one wasn't like, creepy or spooky or anything. And the
Hmm.
one that I did watch, or actually didn't finish it, so I can't even really talk about it. But it was supposed to kind of lead also into because there's a lot of like space related things that he talks about,
Okay. Yeah.
aliens and whatnot. So,
Which one is
but yeah,
that?
there's a handful of them. But the one that I started to watch today was the one about the face on Mars, and I'm
Ooh,
like,
yeah.
I
That's a
think I
good
have
one.
like 10 minutes left, so I haven't really gotten to the part of him kind of either revealing like, hey, this is what's really happening, or like we don't really know what's happening. So I wasn't able to finish it because I was at work. And yes, sometimes I am watching YouTube videos at work, but I mean I have a whole TV there, so like what do you want me to do with it? So can't watch
Oh my
sports all
gosh.
day. But no, that one, I mean, because I remember seeing the face or those photographs come out when they first came out back in
Hmm.
whenever they came out. Um, okay, maybe it wasn't the first time because if that came out like back in the 60s, yeah, I wasn't here for that. But
Yeah.
whenever they were made known to the public and people were talking about, I was like, oh yeah, that's a face, that's creepy. And how the government or rather NASA seems to be hiding it. Did you finish the video?
Hmm. I did.
Okay, you can go ahead and spoil it for me because I mean I will watch it, but I don't know how it ends.
Um, if I remember correctly, because he talks about the theory or the conspiracy and then any truth behind it, like if it's been debunked or whatever. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure, um, I'm pretty sure there was no debunking on that. Like it hasn't really died down, but like people, oh goodness, I can't remember. Ugh, and I just
Where
watched
I
it not
left
long
off,
ago.
where I left off is that he was saying that NASA was trying to do their best to kind of like falsify information, like they were trying to scrub like the main image of the face and
Mm,
like, yeah, this is
mm-hmm,
a clearer picture of it, or we took another picture
mm-hmm,
and it just made it
mm-hmm.
look not like a face. And
Well, I
yeah,
feel like NASA fumbled the bag. Like I feel like they probably actually found something and did a really like piss poor job of trying to say, "Oh no, we didn't actually find anything. What are you talking about?" Like they would say they took a clearer picture, but then they, wouldn't be able to provide it, or it very clearly had been edited. To my remembrance, there was no like just very clear evidence that no, this was fake. No, this was
mm.
something that it, wasn't. That is my understanding of the ending of that. I cannot
Okay,
remember though.
it's fine
But I
because I mean he's
remember
got a
well, when I remember thinking like, oh, so this one's actually kind of real. Oh,
mm.
okay. Huh. Great, great, great. Awesome. Great, awesome.
So there may have possibly been a civilization on Mars that maybe they had a
Hmm.
war or some sort because
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that theory before, and I was like, okay, and I mean, I was already interested because I wouldn't have clicked, watch, but still, I was like, okay, where you going with this? And waiting for him
Yeah.
to be like, yeah, none of that happened because I wasn't able to finish it, so I was like, I got to get back to this, but I got to go home, or rather, I got to
Yeah.
go catch this movie. So,
Yeah.
hmm.
Yeah.
So has there been any that you have seen that definitely like for you that ramped up the creep factor where you're like, okay, I need to go watch some cartoons now?
Ooh, there's definitely one I want to watch, and I'm avoiding it for now.
Ooh, which one is
Um,
that one?
it's about um can we avoid the sixth extinction? It's
I was
their
so
I think
close
it's
to
their
pushing
newest
play on
one.
that one. Yeah, it is. I almost
I
pushed play.
really I want to watch it so bad because the whole idea in theory really that Earth has already gone through like five or six mass extinctions
Hmm.
before now is incredibly fascinating, but it's so morbid and it's so scary to me because I'm like, oh, global warming,
Mm,
climate change, like we're kind of due for something, that kind of
hmm.
scares me. So I don't know that I want to watch it yet. I
Mm.
don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's one I don't think you can watch any like cartoons or happy things after because it's a
Yeah,
thought that's going to linger. I mean,
it's
we
yes.
still we still kind of talk about Don't Look Up in a sense and how that still kind of
Oh man, I
lingers
can't.
with you.
And it's crazy because I've been wanting to, well, not been, but like I've had moments where I wanted to watch that movie again. And it's like, are you asking? Why are you like this? Why you just, you're the train wreck
Well,
that you just want to, like, why are you doing this to yourself?
I do. And I mean it's similar to me wanting to watch a little bit of the world burn. Not, when I talked about before about this the writer strike. Like I kind of want to
Hmm.
see parts of this industry crumble because
Hmm.
apparently they don't recognize how important, first of all, how important writers are, but how important, hey,
Hmm.
um, global warming, how important that is. And like you don't know how serious it is until it's too late. So yeah. So yeah, that bumped up my list, the extinction one. So just so I can watch it and be like, yeah, you might want to brace yourself, or be like, no, it's good. There's hope because that's also important.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Let's not put ourselves in states of depression when we can help it.
True, true. And I definitely don't want anyone to like go to these, channels or these videos and encourage any depression. It's more so
Yeah,
curiosity and, just a little bit of a creep factor. Just a little bit.
yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of
There's
them.
other ones to watch.
Right, right. Like the man talk. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's something that I kind of knew about because it's what Stranger Things is based on loosely.
Oh yes, that one was good.
Yeah, so I liked that one. I watched another one about Tesla because he's always been an interesting figure to me
Hmm.
and his death ray, as they called it. So,
Yes.
oh, and how that could have been connected to the place in Russia that had the explosion. I can't remember the name or how to pronounce it.
Chernobyl?
Nope, not that one. That was a
No.
nuclear accident,
Oh,
which is also
true, true,
devastating.
true. Yeah.
But no, it was out like in the middle of a forest and like knocked down all these trees, and people claim it was a meteorite or asteroid that exploded before it actually landed. But
Hmm.
according to some other research or some other theories, it might have been Tesla's death ray that overshot its target. So
Oh,
it
I
was.
haven't watched that one.
Oh, okay, yeah, check out that one because that
Oh,
one,
yeah.
yeah, that was interesting. I'm like,
I
okay,
need
because
to watch that. Yeah.
that was one of them that where he couldn't actually say if it was or wasn't. He was just like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, that was kind of my intro to space also because I've got some quick hits. Like they're all like full legit articles, but just gonna throw the headlines at you and then you just let me know which one you want a little bit more information on, and we can save the
Okay.
other two for another time. Scientists discover gigantic structure, which is put in quotes, under the surface of the moon.
Ooh, yeah. That's a good one.
Okay. NASA warns of an out of control supermassive black hole.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been a while since we talked about black holes. And then the last one is our good old friend Neil deGrasse Tyson breaks down why aliens would never visit Earth.
I want to see that. I need to
Okay.
see that actually.
Okay. So we'll go with that one. And basically, and I'm just going to summarize it because he was on somebody Vlad TV's podcast, or not podcast, but their show, and I'm just trying to get to his quote. Who am I to know what would or wouldn't interest an alien? What I would say is, what kind of ego must you have to think that a more advanced species, vastly more advanced than we are, as it would have to be, as it would have to be if it traveled here. We haven't left low Earth orbit in 50 years. To believe that aliens would cross the galaxy just to observe us in a very shy way.
Yeah.
So that's,
I mean, he's
oh,
not wrong.
he's not wrong. And continues a little bit. It said, when we visit Earth, or he's saying as the aliens, this is their perspective. When we visit Earth, let's only go to the restricted airspace where the Navy flies and let's make ourselves fuzzy.
I
So
love that. I love his sense of humor, and I'm so glad he's in our world and in our
mhm,
timeline.
right. So this wasn't him. This was actually Arthur C. Clarke who said this
Oh,
next quote, which I found
ah,
interesting.
mm-hmm.
And just to bring you back to, terrifying you a little bit, two possibilities
Thanks.
exist. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, well, maybe thank me after I tell you this. Okay. You ready?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go.
Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying.
Yeah. I think about that one a lot, actually. It is
Mm,
quite terrifying because now we see how ridiculously huge and ever expanding the universe is. And surely, surely there's something else. Like, why would it just be us? But that's like, but what if it is just us? How
hmm.
ridiculous is that? Like, oh, I try not to go there with
All
that
this,
thought because,
all
oh
this
my gosh,
space. Hmm.
so much freaking space. Ugh.
And all of that just comes back to the Fermi paradox, which I don't feel like explaining
Mm,
again because I have like bad memory of trying to explain it before during the live show,
yeah.
and I just I can't do it in an effective. That's my mission. That's my goal. I am going to explain it in a way that's entertaining, but also enlightening and interesting to people, so I
Hmm.
don't
Hmm.
bore anybody. But basically, it just asks that question like,
Yeah.
where is everybody? Where is
Yeah.
everybody? Because
Yeah. Where
so
they at?
yeah. So that is something we
Yeah.
will revisit. I will find a fun, creative way to explain the Fermi paradox where it's not, boring. At least I don't find it boring, so I just have to find a way to make it not boring for other people. So yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
our little trip to space and a little,
Let's come
spookums
back
as
home.
well. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, let's come back home.
yeah. Um, I'm just going to put it out there. I do not have a Black History fact for today. I didn't even look for one. Well, that's not true. I did look on my calendar, but I didn't care for any of the facts that they had for this week. Not that they weren't
Hmm.
good. There's nothing that struck me like, that's something to talk about.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it there. Um, However, I guess we will go to, I guess recommendations. Do you have a recommendation for us today?
Man, I had a recommendation and I should have like written down or texted you or something because of course I
You wouldn't
can't
forget.
remember it.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Uh,
okay, don't hurt yourself. It's okay. I will go if it comes back to you, then by
oh,
all means, just, jump in there. But my recommendation is almost directly for slash to you,
okay.
and as well as listeners, but the film Dungeons and Dragons: Honor
Oh,
Among
is it good?
Thieves.
Nice.
Oh my God, it was so much fun and very
It's on my
funny too.
list.
Yes, it's available on Paramount Plus for free. Well, if I mean, I say that with question marks, but I mean, I guess if you pay for Paramount Plus, then it's not technically free, but if you have it, then you have access to it, so you can watch it.
And I'm sick of
I know the what were we calling it? A la carte TV.
I'm so sick of it. I'm
Mm,
mad because I have been avoiding Paramount Plus for a while, but they've got like all the shows that I want to watch, all of the Star Treks.
hmm.
so many other things that I can't even think of right now. Ugh.
Well, you're right, because I mean they do have all of the Star Treks, all of them, like even new ones
I
that exist.
know.
So those
I
exist.
know.
They have a number of movies that go straight there,
I
such
know.
as Scream 6, if you're into that. I am not, so they can keep
Yeah,
it.
nah. Yeah,
Um,
keep that.
the what Maverick, not Maverick, Maverick, yeah. That's the
Hmm.
subtitle. What is the whole movie? Not Hot Shots.
Top Gun.
Top Gun, there it is. Hot Shots is the parody version of Top Gun. That's why I thought of
Ah,
that.
got it, got it.
um, but yes, Top Gun. Top Gun Maverick is there too, which is a good movie. I'm not recommending it today, but it is a good movie. But no, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves is very funny. Like we found ourselves laughing way more than I expected to, and
Hmm.
hang around during the credits. It does reward you, so just
Nice,
putting that out
nice.
there. Um, yeah, I mean, I can't even like really. I can pinpoint certain things that are very very funny scenes to me, and I feel like someone like you who did play the game would probably catch
Hmm.
on to several references to actual gameplay. So,
Nice. It
'cause I'm like,
looked
I
like a
feel.
lot of fun, and I said I was gonna watch, go watch it.
Mhm.
Ah, yeah, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, I mean, and we were talking about before about renting movies. So if that's something that you end up having to rent, then that would be an appointment rental. So like you'd be like, Daniel, we're watching this movie tonight. Get your $4, or since it's fairly new, it's probably, I don't know, maybe 10. I'm gonna look it up right now to
Yeah.
see how much it is to rent, because it's it's worth it. Um, if you were to rent it, it would cost you, it's not bad, $6 from like Redbox or Vudu.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's well worth your time. So yeah,
Gonna have to do it.
it stars one of the Chris's, Chris Pine,
Hmm.
and he's having a great time. Um, yeah, I mean, and I've seen one of the reviews and it just sticks out because I just remember there's like it's a perfect movie, and I'm like, you know what? And I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until you see it so we can come back and discuss it, because we have our pantheon of perfect movies,
Yeah.
and this feels like one I would want to debate with you on if we should include it within our list. Does
Okay.
it can it live amongst those of like uh Inception and Matrix and
Hmm.
Everything Everywhere All at Once? Like, could this
Ooh,
be our
okay.
first comedy? This the first comedy that we include in our pantheon of perfect films? So
Interesting. Okay. I'm
yeah,
down for that challenge.
okay. So when you do watch it, and this is bumped up much higher than V for Vendetta, by the way. So that's why I said it's personally recommended to you
Wow, okay.
for
That's
several
big.
reasons. So yeah,
That's pretty
yeah.
big.
Oh, and
I
Game, of
love
course.
that.
That's part of, perfect films for me anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. That is a perfect film.
So by any
Well, I
means,
can't.
did your memory jog a little bit?
No,
No? Okay.
it has not been jogged. It is, I should have written it down. I know myself. I was like, no, it's just too good. I'll definitely remember this. No, I don't
Hmm.
remember.
I mean,
Very
and
sad.
I'm only trying to help, but was it something to listen to, something to watch or read? Is it something you experienced recently?
Yes, like this week. Well, maybe not this week, but maybe like the weekend, or let's see, what did I do or watch this weekend? I didn't really watch a whole lot this weekend.
Or where were you
Um,
when it's like, ooh, this
I
was,
don't know.
oh,
I thought I was like in my just watching TV or watching something in bed.
mm-hmm.
That's what I thought, but I can't. Nothing is coming to mind that I've watched recently. Well, I did watch something recently. This is not the recommend thing.
Okay.
But I mean, it was good and whatever. I just it can be my thing for the week.
It's your fill in. It's your fill in for now.
It's my fill-in. I mean, it was
Mm-hmm.
good, but it is not what I was thinking of. Like, oh man, I should recommend this. No, it wasn't that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, maybe to you I would have recommended it, but not to the people. Anyway, my fill-in recommendation is called Secrets of Hillsong. Is it called Secrets of Hillsong? Um, I'm gonna have to look it up. There is
It sounds
there's two
familiar.
well, there's
Okay, go
that
on.
is the name of one of them, but there's two documentaries out right now on Hillsong Church, which is based in Australia, but they have, since their inception in like 83 or whatever, have um branched out to like the world, literally the world. So the
Mm,
Secrets of Hillsong is on Hulu, and it is I think it is. So it's the first two episodes are on Hulu, and then I believe it's going to be several episodes, and then after this week, like it just launched this week, but um after this week they'll upload it, or they'll put out more episodes weekly, I think. I don't know how long it's
okay.
supposed to be. It's a good one. There's the first one that I watch is on Peacock, and it's, I don't know, something something Hillsong. So the reason why I can't fully recommend this is because it is pretty hurtful. It's hurtful for
Mm,
me because I used to really be into Hillsong,
mm-hmm.
um, at least the music side of it, and to see this kind of downfall is pretty painful. Um, and also, I don't want, I am kind of deconstructing my own like beliefs and things like that, and I don't want other people to like stumble because of it, but it might have you questioning some things. So I don't know. It's watch
Mm.
at your own risk. It is very interesting. I mean, this is the type of true crime that I can. It's not crime, but it like true documentary type stuff
Right, right.
that I can really handle right now. Like it's painful, but not in a, serial killer, just
Stabby,
terrible like
stabby,
that, stabby
yeah.
stabby type of way. Um, and the one on Hulu, the one that is actually called The Secrets of Hillsong, actually includes interviews with the wife and pastor, um, well, the pastor who got in trouble, and his wife. Um, in this one, he wasn't in the one on Peacock, although it was clearly about him, or like it
Mm-hmm.
started, his scandal started the whole thing, and then further investigations into the church, and further allegations of church leaders and things like that started coming out after this one pastor, Carl Lentz, um, was found out to be, in a scandal. And so
Mm,
this one includes him, interviews with him and his wife. And I was like, I have to watch this. I have to hear what this guy has to say. I got
mm-hmm.
to. And it did not disappoint.
I
Um,
think I think my sister may have recommended it to me. I think,
I mean,
but she
it's
definitely has mentioned it. So,
it's a good watch. Like I hate to say that because like I said, I have no personal ties other than my own personal experience. So it's
right.
painful because like I guess Hillsong was a part of some very formative years for me, and I've got really good experiences with
Mm.
not them directly, but just
Yeah,
So
the music.
it's
Yeah.
good music and just good experiences based around that music, and I
Mm.
just oh, it's a good watch. Just watch at your own risk. You know, take care of
Hmm.
yourself if it's too much.
And there's a number of those. I mean, I feel like they do fall in the category of true crime, where it's more
Hmm.
of like I guess an expose, but a deep
Yeah,
level one, and like people were hurt, but they're not, killed. So
they're not
there's
killed,
not
but I
that.
mean they are hurt. So that
Hmm.
is a real thing. So I don't want to
Right. Yeah, I'm
look
not
at
trying to
it as
lessen, yeah,
yeah,
their struggle or their pain because it's still, it's still a
it's
lot to
still
take
very
in.
valid. I don't want
Right.
to look at it as just purely entertainment for me, the viewer.
Hmm.
Even
Right.
though I mean I am viewing it, I try to look at it like, okay, these are real people. This is real life. Like this is actually affecting people. But it
Hmm.
is a very interesting it's a very interesting watch. So yeah,
Okay. So it's not your recommendation, but it's a fill in for now.
it's the fill in. Just take it or leave it.
Because I do at times prefer um documentaries or series that are like that because I'm like, there's already enough, killing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
There's
I
enough of that in
mean,
the world.
one of the ones I've like started watching, and this has been out for a while apparently, but just the business of drugs, and they go through all the different ones.
Mm,
So I never
hmm
really knew like where cocaine comes from, but it kind
Yeah.
of went all the way to the source and like how it gets here and why it costs so much and what it does to the body. And then they talked about MDMA, or which sometimes is known as ecstasy. So I'm like, oh,
Mm.
okay. And how that actually could be a very beneficial drug if the government didn't say
If used
no, no,
right.
no, if used
Yeah.
correctly too. Yes, yes. So, and that's on Netflix. But
Mm.
if there was another example though of a documentary that's like that or a series, but basically just people being outed as either some kind of fraud or definitely if it's a heist involved. Oh, yes, I'm all over that because
Yeah.
that's an okay kind of true crime. I'm good with that one
Yeah.
because
Me too.
nobody's hurt except maybe somebody's ego or I don't
Yeah.
know.
Money maybe, but that's it.
Hmm.
Like your life is still
Yeah,
there though.
yeah. Give me those. I'll take those. Oh, that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to think of. What you're describing because there's like documentaries on the same subject, but on two different streaming platforms, if you will, reminded me of the Firefest documentaries. So
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
Netflix had
Similar
theirs and Hulu
situation.
had theirs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
love
another
that
one
doc
that,
too. It's
right.
a
I
great doc.
loved both of them because they're like,
Love
okay, we
both
got
of them.
both sides. One of them, I think, actually had the
Hmm
person involved, like the one who started everything, who, by the way, I
hmm
think he's out of
Billy.
jail again. Yeah,
Billy
Billy.
McFarlane.
I heard that he's out and
Uh,
possibly planning
Lord,
another festival.
I'm sure he is. He hasn't learned his. I'm sure he is. But yeah,
No.
that's a good one. When I really liked it because um just like with this Hillsong one, you get a lot of the same information because the good doc or a good series or whatever is going to include the pivotal things that you need to tell the story. But like it
Hmm.
comes from different perspectives and the way that it's covered is very different. And like I said, one of them has Carl Lentz actually um involved and his wife and like other people. And so it's pretty wild, but it's just very good. It's good.
Okay. I may check it
So
out.
give it a
Just
shot.
might.
Give it a shot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll move on to the last thing, our moment of gratefulness or moment of gratitude. One of these days, I'll land on what the actual name is. But yeah, I'll jump in here. Just I'm also trying to buy you some more time in case your memory might be jogged by anything. But
It's gone.
I'm I'm grateful for, and you'll actually chime in on this one, I'm sure, because again, the theme of this episode is the written word. Here for writers, we stand for them, by them, with them, and all of that good stuff. I'm here to say I'm grateful for our local library. So
Hmm.
I'm grateful for
Nice.
that because last week we took a little family trip to the library for a storybook tour, which was very fun.
Hmm
I've never done anything like this where they
hmm
basically chose a book. I'm not even sure how they came to choosing this book, but they printed out the each page and they were all over the library walls. So you have to pretty much just go throughout different areas of the library, and a different librarian would read each page to you. And they also had it in Spanish. Some of them read it in Spanish. Some of them were better at reading in Spanish than we thought they would be, and others were like,
hmm
okay, just stick with the English.
hmm
But hey, they tried. Points for trying because it's not your language, but you're just trying to help out. I'm here for it. But it was
Yeah.
really great. It was really nice and I hadn't seen all of the library. Like I didn't even know they had a downstairs area. Well, yes, I did. I knew, but hadn't been down there. So, and they allowed you to take some free books afterwards, as well as a copy of the book that was read. And I took
Nice.
a book of stories of Anansi, the
Ah, yeah.
oh, the African folklore, or he's a spider, not Spider Man,
hmm
but he is a Spider
He's the actual
Man.
spider. Yeah.
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 So I took that book
Nice.
for myself. Ken took
That's
quite a
pretty
bit.
cool.
Ashley took some too. So yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a fun little time, and I was grateful for that. It was a good hour well spent on a lovely Saturday afternoon.
Awesome. I love a good trip to the Berry
I
Library.
and that's
Yeah.
why I knew you would appreciate. what I was grateful for today.
Totally.
So what
Totally.
are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my little nephew, Corbin. He's my first nephew, and he's getting so big and tall, and
How old
he
is he
came to
now?
my house. He's 10. He'll be a well, shoot. Yeah, he'll be 11 in July.
Hmm.
So he's getting old. But like he's just I love his energy and I love that apparently he loves to garden. He definitely loves to be outside, but he's just such a bright light and I get
Would you
to
say
miss
he has a vim for gardening?
I would say he has a vim for gardening and I really
Hmm.
love that.
Hmm.
Like every time he comes over, he is just like, "Can I go plant?" Because I have seeds and things to plant, and so he's ready to get out there and plant some stuff. So
Hmm.
he's found some seeds for green beans and we already had some carrots growing. So every time he comes over, he picks some carrots. I clean them up for him and he just chomps on them and it's great. So I
Hmm.
don't know. I love him and I love the person that he is and like that he's continuing to grow into and I don't know, he's just awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's a really like healthy like hobby too, just to
It is.
be out there and in the dirt and seeing things grow,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
watching him grow and like, oh, it's like
Yeah, I
a
know.
plant himself growing up like a, I'm just assuming just growing up thin like a bean or something. But yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Thin
because that
like
was
a
me.
bean. Yeah.
Hmm.
He's
Yeah,
just
that's fair.
he's so handsome. Yeah, I'm just grateful for him.
Hmm. That's nice. To clip this part and just, play it for him. So he knows. I'm sure he knows, but that you were talking about him. Yeah.
Yeah. My baby.
I can feel your beaming from here. But
Hmm.
but we must wrap it up and turn it. Oh, I'm not saying turn it down. You can beam all you like, but we're just gonna wrap up this podcast here. So,
Hmm.
any other? I mean, you basically pretty much shouted him out, but do you have any other shout outs? Anything you want to point attention to? I know you're still. Well, I don't want to say. I don't want to assume you're still
I
in.
am still.
You are okay. Except for
Yeah,
those
I
that
am
need to know where
still.
you are or need to find you
Right.
for business
Right, 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 right,
purposes,
right.
they
Right,
can
right,
find
right.
you. Gotcha. Okay.
They can
Just
find
checking.
me in by other means.
Right, right. I didn't want to assume. I didn't want to assume. So, because you're out there now, or almost you're out there. Yeah, you're out there. Okay. Um, and as usual, you can find me at all things at Indoob. You can go to indoob.com. And finally, that website has been updated because before I had like old logos and links that were broken and no one told me. So I'm like, okay,
Oh
thanks
no.
so much. I know. Um,
Jerks.
it's not on my list, but at some point I will upload. I think I still have most, if not all, of the episodes of the Food Fight podcast, as well as my first podcast, which has like, I don't know, I want to say close to like 200 episodes of like the Lost Style. But if I have those and I can find them, maybe I might upload them to Patreon. So you can probably get them there if you really want to. It's been so long, at least for the Lost Isle, that I wouldn't even really recommend it because I'm like, good lord. But hey, if you want to, that's your thing. Let me know. Write to us at indoopod@gmail.com. If you want to hear those episodes, I will get them and I will post them. But if you don't care, then I'm not gonna do it because like nobody reached out to me and said anything other than Magdalena. So shout out again to her for writing in, wanting to know about the free
Hmm.
write. So yeah. Um,
Nice.
Anyway, yes, at Indoob, I'm still not quite on Twitter, but mostly on Black Twitter, making appearances on Instagram and TikTok, trying to, promote this very podcast so more people listen to us
Hmm.
or me try to, scare Kortney. So, um, and also make sure you do check out the Love Blurreds we did record recently. So you need to understand when we talk about candy, you know what we're talking about, as well as the street festival we went to over the weekend. So that was a good time there as well as more candy. Um, find all things at Indoob and indoob.com. Said that. Remember to wash your face, your legs, the undersides of your dishes. Please brush your teeth regularly. And oh yeah, and wash your legs too. And Tell someone you value that you value them, live without regrets, and live for the folks you love. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson, and remember, the world didn't suck. We'd all fall off, henceforth and forevermore, and the church says,
Amen.
Amen indeed. Thank you so much for listening to the Indoob podcast. To get more Indoob in your life, check out indoob.com, patreon.com/indoob, and of course, merch over at TeePublic. Email us your Ask Indoob questions, comments, or just say hi at indoobpod@gmail.com. Linky dinks in the descripts. Please rate, comment, follow, subscribe, and hashtag tell your friends. Until next time.